A worldview, yours, mine, or the housefly's, drives decisions and moves the limbs. In some respects, each of us is that housefly, banging against the window over and over again. We think we can see all there is to see before we drop into the dust and grit at the bottom of the window frame. But often the world in our worldview is small, just a wee part of Sagan's dot. Perspective is everything. Science fiction gives us the means to take a bigger perspective. It trains the mind to see more, understand the view, and be timeless. Suddenly the universe is not out there. Each of us is as much the universe as any other speck. Our planet is across the galaxy, and in the far reaches of the universe, we are as alien a planet as any other. We see our past, present, and future as one thing. We are a flash of understanding, a spark that streaks across the sky with countless others in an exploding firework of space-time self-awareness. We have a bigger perspective. We are moving just past the limits of our current understanding. Unlike the spurious Bronze Age imaginings of those who fear gods, sci-fi builds on what we know. Science gives us the means to understand on a scale that ranges from the infinitesimally small to the infinitely large, from the beginning of time to its resignation and dissolve. Science is the self-aware universe's never-ending attempt to understand itself completely. Like the force of space-time released in the Big Bang, science fiction is that which pushes us forward. It is the universe's imagination reaching just beyond its current understanding. It asks, what if? It's there. I can see it. Those of us who've embraced science and its fictional overreach throughout our lives have little problem thinking in terms of global climate change. We see the repetitive futility of our baser animal instincts because we have seen it reflected in countless alien worlds and cultures across the millennia. Like the coworker jockeying for position and maneuvering for promotion at the brass tacks factory, we can see clearly the tiny leader's embrace of small, self-interested and petty thinking. We can think past tiny problems and think about starvation, mass migrations, and the quest for equality and dignity. We don't see the human being as the grandiose creation of a very big man or the inevitable pinnacle of evolution. We are just one intelligent and self-aware species on a planet and in a universe teeming with life. We know this because we've been there. We've stood on worlds burnt because of globally destructive energies released by the hands of grunting beasts. We don't want Earth to be among them. We can see previous life forms on Earth in their weirdness and majesty. The stomping reptilian giants and the little mammals in their holes who do not know that they will someday build pyramids and stand on other worlds. We know this because we know our way around deep time. We've seen the continents smash against each other and drift apart. We've already been to Mars, and we know we will be back soon. We have been to our stellar neighbors. We were there at the end of time itself. Is it the end of the world? Sci-fi seers know that humanity, its history, and its future is not to be taken for granted. We know where it could go wrong. We understand that each mind is a universe as grand as any other and must be cared for. We know that diversity is strength and that peace and understanding is not naive. Those beings on other worlds that have achieved it look at us with scorn, or they look upon us as a wise grandfather who smiles gently when his children are squabbling. We know how to think past ourselves. Perspective is everything. Without it, we fight over items in the bargain bin, measure our property lines, and blast our horns at the impoliteness of it all. We let people suffer. We scrape the earth. Science fiction gives us something more than a worldview. It gives us a universal view. It allows us to stop banging against the window and see what is beyond that which is visible through the glass. Science fiction changes us. It makes us better.